Seventh Child Publishing presents How to Index and Crowdsource, which is in the Family History Tricks and Tips playlist, Family History Help, and How To series. Please click on the links below to access the Seventh Child Publishing website and the Salt Lake Millcreek Family History Center web pages on the Family Search Research Wiki for more resources. Hello, I am Gay Passy, Temple and Family History Consultant. I am narrating this video created by Eileen Lentz, also a consultant and a trainer. The Help and How To series is meant to explain the answer to common problems encountered when doing research. This video explains a little history about indexing and crowdsourcing to help the indexer and researcher to understand how valuable indexing and crowdsourcing are to hastening the work of family history. Perhaps it will help motivate more of it and encourage cooperation with others to further the work along. Eileen began this presentation as part of the How to Find the Right Record image video, but decided to separate the two topics because it was too much information. So this video was created to concentrate on indexing and crowdsourcing. The other video explains one of the reasons it is so valuable. For many decades, the genealogical societies established by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and other interested parties were busy microfilming records all over the world and storing them on reels or cards called microfiche. To view these records, it was necessary to go to libraries that had machines that could magnify the image of the records enough to read them. Indexes of the films were created so that the researchers could more easily locate the images they wanted. As the home computer developed, technological advances made it possible to digitize the microfilmed records so that they could be made available anywhere a computer and the internet are used. So indexing the digitized images became an increasingly important task to give people easier access to the records. However, digitizing or scanning the images can be done much faster than they can be indexed. Family Search and other repositories of these digitized records started making these images available to browse, often attaching it to an extracted record sets to inform the researcher what records are available on the film. Prophets have warned us that the temple and family history work must be hastened. Let's discuss two ways to do that: technology and involving more people in the effort. One of the ways technology is improving is called OCR, or optical character recognition. Software applications are being developed to help the computer to read the text of the digitized image. However, errors are common according to the uniformity and clarity of the image. A clear and clean typed record is much easier to OCR than a blurry handwritten record. The interesting thing is the developers of the OCR technology use human indexers to improve the accuracy of the OCR. The image showing the OCR example is using a different alphabet. I would need some additional help in translating this and correcting the errors in the OCR, but it will start me in the right direction. In the context of genealogy or family history, crowdsourcing is when you get a bunch of people to get a bunch done. Said more formally, it is a sourcing model in which the individuals or organization obtain help from a large, relatively open and often rapidly evolving group of participants. It divides work between participants to achieve a cumulative result. The most obvious group we will discuss are those who participate in indexing efforts, but anything we do to help build the record for people is part of the crowdsourcing that increases the efficiency of family history work. The more we help each other, the more help we receive to accomplish our family history goals. One of the things Eileen often does when she is helping someone with their family history is to search for an obituary. Here is an obituary she found 5 days before she captured this image for Harry Beebe. She first clips the record depending on which database she is using. She uses the tools they have on their website. In this case, newspapers.com has some very useful tools. She generally transcribes the whole article, but often she must complete it using WordPad since there is a limited field. Recently, she noticed a new OCR option available. Checking the OCR for accuracy is generally much easier and faster than transcribing. Newspaper.com allows Eileen to link to someone on her ancestry trees. So she links it and then edits the source to include the full text, and then using her own citing protocol, published in the Tribune, Scranton, Pennsylvania, Monday the 6th of May, 1963, page 4, column 6, assessed via newspaper.com, clipped by Eileen Lentz, then the date found. If Eileen transcribed it, she also states that. Then she links it to the events and information given in the article. The next step is to synchronize this source with Family Search, but then she will need to edit it to include the text in the notes and the additional citing detail, and then take the source to events and information. Find a Grave and Billion Graves are good examples of the power of crowdsourcing. Helping each other makes it possible to create virtual cemeteries for relatives and friends, no matter how many miles are between us. Many of Eileen's ancestors are buried in New Brunswick, Canada. She had a few pictures of their stones and a couple of cemetery locations, but could not find them on Find a Grave website. So she created several cemeteries from scratch, using books and databases she could find death and cemetery records from. She added as many memorials as she could. G Flat Cemetery was one of those, which included a listing of Effie DeMerchant, wife of Wallace Gladstone DeMerchant. Eileen only had an incomplete dates for Effie. First off, Norm DeMerchant, who often visited the cemetery, took a picture of the image of her stone and suggested edits for her detail. He added many images for several cemeteries in the area. Another cousin also started to contribute suggested edits, stories, and details to many of these memorials. So now Effie could be linked to her family. Recently, Jerry sent Eileen Effie's death record that included her maiden name and her parents, so Eileen could update that information. Eileen is searching to find where Effie's parents are buried so she can be linked to her parents as well. Eileen said, "Together we are doing things we could never be done alone. Both Find a Grave and Billion Graves have phone apps that allow you to take pictures of stones and then upload them, which includes the GPS data. This is a great activity to do with children and youth groups. They absolutely love it." Indexing is one of the most important crowdsourcing activities in family history. There are several tutorials and information about web indexing and how indexing has increased the number of records that are now searchable online. Getting Started with Web Indexing by Catherine Grant from the BYU Family History Library is a good tutorial for beginners. She refers to the excellent resources available from Family Search, but Eileen wanted to know more about the history of indexing and the growth of it. Eileen found this chart and some other annotated graphics that explain the history up to 2013. It shows that indexing started in 1921 and switched over to digitized indexing in 2006. It took 85 years to index 900 million records and 7 years to index 1 billion more. Eileen wondered how many records have been done since then. She Googled it and only found how many were added to Family Search each month. For instance, in February 2019, over 13 million newly indexed records from all over the world were added. In both January and March 2019, over 25 million newly indexed records were added, and in April, an amazing 47 million records were added from all over the world. If we project 300 million per year, it would only take 3 to 4 years to reach the next billion, meaning that we are probably between 3 and 4 billion now, June of 2019. This is enough to make the point that indexing has made it significantly easier to find records for our ancestors. Thank you for watching this video, How to Index and Crowdsource, which is in the Family History Tricks and Tips playlist, Family History Help and How To series. I encourage you to share your experience with indexing and other crowdsourcing experiences with family history to help us all understand how valuable it is. Please support the Seventh Child Publishing YouTube channel by remembering to like, comment, and subscribe. Please share with others on Facebook and your other social media accounts. It will help to spread this important message.